you have a show coming up for BNT that you're currently working on. Can you tell me and the listeners a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, the show right now is called Hollywood Treatment. It still might undergo a name change, but it's about hooking up teenagers with celebrity foundations. And, you know, we're finding a lot of times a lot of teens are trying to get from point A to point B and really don't know how.
Okay.
So it's my job and the show's job to hook them up with the best organization that suits their needs. And the first episode is with Mary J. Blige.
Okay.
And her organization called Fawn. And I don't think I'm at liberty to say too much more about it. It's really under wraps, but the first show airs January 2010.
2010. Okay, looking forward to it. Now, you're currently working on a new album right now? Other than
yeah.
You, okay, other than you, will there be any collaborations on this album, or will it be all you?
No, I'm hoping for quite a few collaborations, but until I have those vocals down,
okay,
I refuse to talk about it. I can tell you one that I've been going after for a while, and is actually Anthony Hamilton. So I'm stalking him to get this thing done, and hopefully we'll make the magic happen.
Okay, cool. Now, with both old school fans and the new school fans of Mc-Lyte, will they get to know more of your personal life in this album?
Yeah, you know, they actually will. And with this particular record, I'm speaking in first person, and I'm talking about a lot of things that haven't been spoken about, at least as it relates to me. So it'll be a really good look into my life. Even toying with the album title My Reality. So it's definitely going to be more in depth than it's ever been before.
Okay, cool.
You said you can't really talk much about the album now, but what kind of things inspired you to do this new solo album now, especially after
Yeah. No, I can definitely speak of the album. I was talking more about the television show. I think all of us have time stuff to not talk about it in great detail. However, the album I'm free to talk about, absolutely. I'm inspired by other music. I'm inspired by other artists. I'm inspired by people, by situations, by my experiences, by just my point of view. And I mean point of view as in how I see things. When I'm walking down the street, you know, I can see things that are happening, and all of that inspires me. A simple conversation with somebody can be inspiring because you never know what thoughts it's going to bring about. In order to come up with a song, all you have to do is just have thoughts, and thoughts turn into words, and words turn into lyric, and there you have it.
That's great. And what other artists are you currently listening to right now that kind of influence your music, or maybe something that you're really liking these days?
Oh, goodness. I'm always listening to Kanye. I love the way that he's been able to merge the world of hip-hop and electro house, electro pop, and alternative, and he's also allowed to just be himself. Like, he doesn't have this extra hardcore thing going on, which, you know, hardcore is fine because, you know, that's what I am. However, there is, you know, just the guy that wants to be heard. And I think Kanye, for that position that he takes, I love it because it just shows like somebody true to himself and true to his craft, and he has a lot of integrity, and he says what's on his mind. And you know, anytime you can have a man on television in the heat of a Katrina situation say that the president doesn't care about black people, so you really get someone who doesn't care what other people think. He's saying the truth. He escaped death at one point, and he knows that right now the only reason why he's living, at least from his point of view, the only reason why he's living is to tell the truth, and I love that.
Okay, cool. Now, I know we'll see possible Mc-Lyte and Kanye West collaboration sometime.
Oh wow, that would be nice. I don't know any of the the planning for that one, but definitely. I just saw him at a Drake show, and prior to seeing him, I got an email that stated that I was on his blog, and he said that I was the best female rapper that he had known.
Okay.
And when I saw him at Drake's show, I was like, hey, I heard about the blog, and he was like, yeah, well, it's true. I feel that way.
But you're like you're the best. Like you're one of the original who helped inspire like Remy Ma and Rashida. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I enjoy all of the female rappers, from Rod Digger to Jean Grey to Mayday out of Detroit to Missy to Latifah to Eve, Kim, Foxy. I mean, everybody brings something so different to the game. We all talk a different slang. We walk differently. We come from different places. I think, you know, Kim, Foxy, and myself and Jean Grey hold down the Brooklyn sector.
Okay.
But, you know, you got Nikki D and Moni Love, and, I mean, there's just so many female rappers out there, and I show my love and respect to them all.
All right, cool. Speaking of rappers and Kanye West, I know, especially these days, like the younger generation of hip-hop and rappers, a lot of them artists today are no longer original. In your opinion, being in the game so long, how do you feel about trend rappers with, like, artists who follow a trend, and do you think it will last?
Well, I think that's the point. I gotta look the definition of a trend up, but I think a trend never lasts for long. It just comes and it goes. That's why it's called a trend, you know?
Yes.
However, a trendsetter is one who can start new trends and continue to do so. So they're constantly in a creative process to begin a new evolution, which to me is somebody like Jay-Z. He can always start anew.
Yes, definitely.
And that's a beautiful thing, to be able to just start from scratch, create a whole movement, and see it take flight. However, there's some people that get stuck in a trend and don't know how to get out of it. So, I mean, we'll definitely see as time tells whether those folks will be able to hold on.
Like, what do you think of? I think there's a new group out now called the GS Boys and the Newsboys. I know the songs like You're a Jerk and what is it, Stinking Leg, I think it's called.
Yeah, Stinky Leg, doing the Stinky Leg. Yeah. I actually.
Well, like, what do you think about like songs like that? They're like really simple.
I thought that song was really funny when I heard it, but you know, you'll be very surprised. Like, I was surprised at 3 6 Mafia. I mean, they came out with that one song and they won an award, and then they've been able to keep, you know, continuously put out music, and it just you know, it's not just about the talent of the person as to whether or not they last or succeed. It's a recipe.
That's true.
And in the recipe comes record label, comes management, comes state of mind, comes, you know, your family. Like, all of those things play a big part on whether or not you will survive in this business. It's not just your talent alone. So, you know, hopefully those guys that brought the jerk, I mean, that song makes a lot of young kids happy when they hear it. And to me, it's no different from Joeski Love with, you know, with his song that he had, the Pee Wee Herman.
You're listening to WNJC 1360 AM, the Power Hour. As I mentioned last week, this is the Light Hour because we're talking to the one and only Mc-Lyte. And on top of that, I'm sure you heard Mc-Lyte. We're kind of throwing some of your old school tracks in there.
Please, yeah, please do whatever you must. And, you know, I want to shout out to all the hip-hop sisters, all the MCs, the DJs, the journalists, the photographers, anybody who loves hip-hop. Check us out at hiphopsister.com and become a part, hiphopsisters.com.
All right, cool. We're going to take a little break, but when we come back, speaking of Jay-Z, we're going to talk to Mc-Lyte about the whole auto-tune thing. I know Jay-Z put his aspect on it, so we're going to see what Lyte thinks about it, and we'll get right back to it. But right now, coming up, we got another original, old-school Mc-Lyte. It's Light as a Rock. You're listening to the Power Hour, a.k.a. the Light Hour, right here exclusively on WNJC 1360 AM.